What's up, everyone? Here with Fox Gopher, Tyros, and Tom. Here to do the Week One prediction or Week One results and Week Two predictions. We'll be going over all the games that happened in Week One, all our thoughts. Gonna try to give as much input and insight as possible. Some of the games we might not be able to give more than others because they might have not have been streamed, or some other reasons. Additionally, at the end, we're going to be doing, the second half, we're going to be doing Week 2 preview. So we're going to do predictions based on who we think is going to win, and we'll kind of go over the match and what we see, just something that screams out on paper. And then finally, we will end with a little surprise, which you guys will have to stay till the end to watch. So I hope you guys enjoy. We'll kick off the first match of Week 1 on our little list, and that is Bhanny versus Koji, where myself, Bhanny, took a 2-0 win. I will let the three guys here talk about that because I want to hear what they think. So Fox, Tyros, and Tom, go ahead, take it away.
All right, what's up, everybody? This one was pretty clear cut just from the beginning. I know me and you talked about it, in the week leading up to it, but Koji just really didn't have an answer for Metagross. You were just boost defenses, and he had really no way to break it. And that kind of, it wasn't like he played bad or anything, but it was just the matchup for him just was really, really tough. Because if he couldn't get that Metagross, couldn't get a crit or something on it, it wasn't getting off the field. And that's kind of basically how it went.
Yeah, the Metagross had 3 KOs. The Torkoal is what impressed me the most. So you damage count that Torkoal body press to be able to KO the Dynamax T-Tar, and you were boosting its defense with Metagross. The combo was just so awesome to see, and it was too powerful for Koji to stop. He didn't even get a KO in this match, which is disappointing to see. But I gotta say, going forward, he's one of the competitors I'm watching out for. And let's shout out your Twitch. Everyone here is watching it, so they know it's Bhanny_27. Professor Koji, PROFKOJI, is his Twitch as well, and you can watch a video on demand on either channel. This was a fun one, and yeah, Fox, you nailed it on the head. He just couldn't stop the Metagross.
Yep, I got nothing else to say besides the Metagross was just too much, and I really liked the body press. I thought that was super cool.
And I got one more thing to say, too. So me and Tyros did a similar video with Koji and Alpaca coming out, talking about the Week 1 recap, too. So we'll let you guys know when we post that, too. And Koji has some great insight onto this match as well.
Yeah, I think regardless of how the match ended up, obviously it was 2 clean sweeps and that was it. But like Fox said, I don't think the match really gives Koji justice to how well of a battler I think he is and can be. I had a very good game plan going in, and I executed it pretty darn well. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what Koji can do in his future matches. And yeah. So
yeah, I got him circled. One of the players to watch out for going forward.
Yes, for sure, 100%. Next, we have Caleb versus Otter, which Caleb took 2-0. This was one of, to be honest, it was probably one of the more disappointing or anticlimactic matches, just because it seemed very one-sided, and there might have been some behind-the-scenes things that we don't necessarily know about in terms of like life issues, whether Otter had other things going on in his life, he didn't have time to prep. But Caleb came in this game with a very good game plan. He had done some extra prep. He brought Salamence that did really kind of work, as well as there was one other mod that he did really good work. I can't even remember what specifically it was. Let's see.
I got the stats in front of me.
The Porygon 2. The Porygon 2. It's not really.
I didn't write them down for this game.
It's not really a very big offensive threat, but it just did work against Otter's team. And then I think Conk had another kill, and just Flame Orb Conk with Guts is still super powerful. It was a very early meta Pokemon, and in a draft league it can be very dangerous as well. But yeah, you guys have anything to talk about with this game?
No, you kind of hit it already. I think it was like the last one of the week. It was like, yeah, okay, and then it just didn't really go as planned. I think there's some cool things like on both sides. I would have really liked to see. Just because in my opinion, I think Otter was actually in a good position to win game one.
I agree.
But he started protecting the Rhyperior and moonblasting it, so it kind of turned into ooh, it got ugly real quick. So I think hopefully we get to see some more out of him, and then like you said, Caleb had a good game plan. He had the fast mode in game one, went to slow mode game two, and I think it really worked out for him.
And Caleb had an entire Excel spreadsheet he showed the chat after his match too, which is very impressive to me. So that's something to watch out for if you're playing Caleb. He's going to come prepared, so you better come prepared too.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing. We want to see the prep. I saw that too. I noticed that he had that big spreadsheet. Oh dang, okay, he's ready.
Another thing too, if anyone in the league ever has some sort of life issues or anything else going on outside of the league, feel free to message any one of us, me, Fox, Tom, or Tyros. We obviously care about the league a lot, and we want everyone to have a good time. And if you have something that you guys want to vent, if you need to vent to someone, I know that all four of us would be open to being someone that's there for you. I know that people go through some crazy stuff, especially now in the world. So feel free to reach out to any of us, and we'll be willing to listen and talk you through stuff if you need it. And if you don't have enough time to prep or you need extra time, again, reach out to me or Fox, and we'll try to work with you the best we can. Again, we want everyone to have fun, and there's not really much fun in not necessarily losing, but not trying to put your best foot forward. Everyone loves to win. Nobody loves to lose. So again, we're all here for a resource.
Everyone's been so kind to me too about rescheduling matches if need be. Like I was taking the law school admission exam last season, so like I was like, hey guys, the week of my match, can we postpone it 1 week? I was able to play 2 matches the next week, so like we could always reschedule. Everyone's been so kind about that with me too. So everyone will work with you guys.
Yeah, we have a very good community, and everyone's super nice. Very rarely will we have issues that are between two opponents, but they happen. And actually transitioning from that, we move into our next game, which we had KD and Anti, which was the one match where we kind of have a little issue with disconnecting. We got a game one done, but game two we had 2 disconnects, and neither player knew which one was disconnecting, and they both kind of were very convinced that they weren't the ones that were disconnecting, and we didn't have proper proof. So me and Fox, after talking about it, we kind of came to the decision that we're just going to cut it after one game. It was about 11:30 when we made the decision. Their game was a very late game, and it was a tough decision.
Last one on.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt. It was the last one Thursday.
Yeah, last one Thursday. And it was it's not something that we want to do, just kind of like cut games and say like that's it, we'll call it. But without proof, I know that the players probably didn't want us to finish it out. At least Katie, I know, didn't want to finish it out. I think Anti really wanted to, just because circumstances. I think he really wanted to kind of give a comeback, but being so late and disconnecting, not having any proof, we kind of just said we called it and gave Katie the 1-0 win. So we didn't have any forfeits, and yeah, I'm sorry I keep taking these kind of games over from the other 3 guys here. So I'll give them more time to speak in the next couple games as well. I just wanted, since these were the bigger issue ones, I wanted to kind of hit the head on the nail before we went into the finer details of it.
Yeah, I mean,
and thank you. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Fox.
You're good.
But yeah, there's not much else to say other than what you said. I think you covered it phenomenally. So thank you for that. Yeah.
This was a game that wasn't streamed either, so there's really not much for us to talk about. I got some insight just from talking to the players after and during when we were trying to figure out what to make a decision. And from what I got, KD decided to go full on Trick Room, I believe, and I guess just took the win the first game, and then the second game before the disconnect, basically the same thing happened. There was I think a Mudsdale left on KD's side with a Delmise, and Anta had a Lapras which I think Anti thought that the Lapras would be able to KO the Delmise, but after doing some calcs myself, it only would do like 40 or 50%, and the Delmise was over 60% or something. It was something like that. It's not really too much to talk about here because, like I said, it's not streamed. There's not much insight to be put, but those were like some tiny details that I feel like are somewhat noticeable. But yeah, I'll give this next game to Fox to start and introduce, and I will shut up.
All right, so we have Silver Room versus number 17. The number 17 was able to pull out a 2-1 win, actually pulling the reverse sweep after the Rillaboom went up 1-2. This was actually really kind of a cool set, just because it did go back and forth. And honestly, like game 3, it could have gone either way. It seemed kind of at the end there. For the Ducks, Cartana kind of just put in all the work. On the Rillaboom side, Durant was putting in a lot of work too. So it was really kind of cool to see the two big steel type, duking it out, and just swapping KOs. But I think the Beast Boost and Cartana kind of got a little out of hand, and that's what ended up.
Yeah, this was one of the games I missed. Shout out Silver Broom 100 on Twitch, SilverBroom 100. So if you want to watch future matches, he should be streaming them on there. And yeah, I saw the match stats and seeing the Cartana get 7 kills, the Urshifu get 3. And then on the other side, Silver had the Durant get 4 kills and the Blaziken get 2. Those aren't Pokemon you see get a lot of kills recently, especially not in the metagame. So it's awesome to see them come out in Draft League and shine. So I'm excited to see what Silver does, especially if he's going to be running like more of his roster than just the top, the top heavy guys. So I'm excited to see Silver's matches going forward.
Tyros, you got anything?
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool match. It went to 3 sets. Like Fox said, Cartana really just kind of put in some work, and then I really liked Durant. I thought Silver used Durant really well, and I forgot how good Durant was. It really opened my eyes again, like to see how good that Pokemon is.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a very good and close match. I didn't actually get to see this. I was kind of waiting for it to be on a VOD, and Silver Room didn't have his VOD set up, but he does now. So if you miss matches on his channel, you can always go back and watch them. Tom, I love how you're trying all these guys out. It's important for everyone to go follow these people. Everyone's trying to grow their community, grow their own community, and just Twitch channels. And it's a great way to watch these matches.
I think I got everyone's Twitch or YouTube written down, too. If I forget one, that's on me, and I'm sorry. But I think I got everyone's.
Nice. For this match for me, I really thought Silver Broom was going to take this kind of handily. From what I was told, Silver Broom was a very first battler. He's very good. And seeing number 17 win was a little shocking for me, just because I think number 17 is fairly new at VGC and still learning. So I think that it kind of, for me, I'm very interested to see what number 17 can do now after taking a big win like this. It'll be very interesting to see how he goes the next couple weeks. If he can keep it up, or if it was kind of just first game jitters for Silver Broom, or what's hold for the future for both these teams. It'll be interesting.
Well, we said it all week. Week 1's crazy.
Yeah, week 1 is crazy. Week 1's the toughest week. Tyros, do you want to talk about this one? It's the Tom versus United.
Yes, the Tom versus United. Yes, this is a cool match. I got to watch it on Tom's stream. Him and I did some practice matches together, and I thought he had a pretty good game plan coming in. But United also obviously had done some really good prep, and look at the match stats here.
Butterfree game 1, 1 million sleeps.
Yeah, Butterfree was really Tom's going in play, trying to sleep the stuff. He got max sleep on I think it was Terrakion the first time, and then he put it to sleep again. and then that first game coming down to a missed heat wave, and Dracovic, and Dracovic is coming back and killing Cole. So super close game one, and then game two was a little bit more one-sided onto United side. I think he prepped really well, and that's why I took the win this week.
Well, we were seconds away from staring down a game three. I mean, we had that heat wave miss. The Dracovic would, who knows if it actually would have KO'd or not, but definitely would have made things a little bit more.
Yeah, it was in the red. I think, and Snom in the chat was like, "Oh, never mind. You should have earth powered though."
Yeah, I think that it was
like,
it was a bit of a misplay. Earth power and Aqua Jet, I think, would have been the play, but that's kind of what happens. Because there's a timer in these games that you have to think a little bit quicker, and you might not pick the right move, but it's all about learning from it. And I agree. Game one was very one-sided early on, but somehow United was able to pull it out, which I thought was very impressive. And then game two wasn't as one-sided or it was kind of more one-sided on the other way. But I was fully expecting 3 games, especially after how the first game went. I expected a very close match. This was a very close match when we looked at it last week. So I think that the 2-0 win doesn't give Tom really enough justice, because I think he did play very well. But obviously United played just a tad bit better to take the 2-0 victory.
And one thing I want to say about this match is United is so good at prepping too, because he was messaging me after I was trying to do a live thing. I couldn't get the audio to work, but he's like, "If you choice scarfed Rillaboom with the Grassy Pledge and used a swamp on me, it would have been a long day for me. I could have won, but it would have been much harder." And I had the choice scarf on the Butterfree for the sleep powder, so I wasn't even thinking like that. So he really was. He prepped harder. He outplayed me. And shout out his Twitch real quick. United Away, UNITEEAWAY, and you could see all his matches on there from now on. And you can see mine at Tom Hayden 27, TOMHAYDEN 27. And yeah, this was a fun freaking match. And if I don't win it all, I think United's gonna win it all.
We'll see. All right, so next we got Jolt versus Lil Smurf. Tom, you want to start for this one? You haven't started one, so we'll give this one to you.
Yeah, so this match, I actually missed the live one. I started watching it back, and Jolt had the 2-0 victory. And Jolt's team is fun, man. I'm prepping for it next week. Jolt's my week 2 competitor. And just seeing him get the 2-0 was crazy, man. Like, Windows P2 Lil Smurf has a good team. He has a Blastrier. He has the Articuno Galarian. You got a good team core. And Jolt was able to beat it by getting kills with all his team. He got 2 kills with Torcat. He got a kill with Coco and Celesteela. He got a kill with Togekiss and 3 kills with Blastoise. So Jolt spreading out his kills is something you love to see, because he has a diverse team. He really has a diverse team, and you could get it from all the different angles. The Coco Raichu lead is a good lead for him. He just made a trade to pick up a Dragonite instead of the Guzzlord today too, even though he thought of a great nickname for Guzzlord after he dropped it. Sucks, but it happened.
That's the biggest worry he's got. Then I think he's fine.
What's up?
I said if that's the biggest worry about nicknaming a Guzzlord, then I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think Dragonite's much better than Guzzlord, especially the Dragon type. If you want to do the Comfey Draining Kiss into Dragonites, like he was probably going to do with the Guzzlord proc the weakness policy, Dragonite will take less damage from it. So all in all, I think it's a good trade for Jolt. And you could watch the video at JOLTEADE, Joltiade. Like lemonade, but with Jolt instead of lemon.
I think you used a very nice word there. You said the team was diverse. I like that. This was one of the weirder. This is like one of the crazy sets. Like that game one was just out of like nowhere crazy. With the Flare Blitz, like worrying about the recoil and all that stuff. Then we had the accidental trick. There was a couple interesting things that happened in this one. But hats off to Joe. I think the Celesteela was a good pickup for him. And I think that just just by advantage of the steel typing, it does pretty good work. And then you run it in the way that he did with the Leech Seed. And that, that sucker will stay. So I think it was good. I don't think that Smurf really had great answers for it, and just by virtue of that, Jolt was able to kind of pick up the win. So it was good for him, good prep. And I think he had a solid matchup going in.
Yeah, I think that I personally did not like Jolt's team going in, but I think it's kind of rounding out a little bit better now. We saw it in action, and it can kind of do a lot. It can kind of go to a lot of different ways, which I think is very beneficial in a draft league. It makes it very hard for someone to prep for. And it was a very weird game, but I had actually picked Lil Smurf last week in the predictions because I thought his team was going to be way too strong. I think Glacier was going to be a big factor, and I think it only got one kill here against a team that it kind of just dies to. So I was pretty impressed with how Jolt was able to take a 2-0 victory pretty handily. I think. So I'm interested to see. I know Jolt plays Tom next week, so it'll be. I think that'll be a very close match as well.
And the P2 got 2 kills with last year, a kill with Articuno Valarian, and a kill with Primarina. That's what the match stats say.
Nice.
So he did. I think, but Jolt really spread out his kills. 5 out of his 6 Pokemon got a kill in the match. So that's something in this draft league that you don't see a lot.
For sure. All right, so next we got Alpaca versus Bananas. This was actually was probably one of the closer sets of the week. Surprisingly, I think everyone picked Alpaca in the predictions last week for good reason. He has a super strong team, and he's a good player overall. And Bananas is more of an unknown commodity right now. But I was actually very impressed with how Bananas played. Because of how strong Alpaca is and how strong his team is. Bananas was very close to even taking game 3 here. And yeah, like Tom's saying right now, it's surprisingly close. I think that's the best way to put it. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what Bananas can do. I think that he's going to be, he's definitely going to be able to compete with for a playoff spot for sure, especially after seeing how he put up a fight against Alpaca, which is one of the stronger battlers in the league.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say that Bananas really brought it. And it didn't work out for him, but I was really impressed. It was a close set. It was one of the better ones of the week. Good job to him. Fantastic job by Alpaca to squeeze out the win. But looking forward to seeing what Bananas can do in the future.
I love his logo.
I think that he picked up the Crocodile, I think, earlier that week. I think that ended up being a really good pickup for him. I know that he maxed it during one of his matches, and it got 3 kills overall. It did some really good work throughout the 3 different matches.
Yeah, bandit, stab, eat. That's all you know.
It's funny because when this game was going on, I had to relook at the Google page because I had no idea that he even had Crocodile on his team. I did that with a couple teams because there's so many players here, and I'm constantly changing things because of trades and whatnot. Usually, I have a good sense of who's on like what Pokemon on what team, but I had to relook and say, does he even have Crocodile? And he did obviously, but I thought that was funny, and yeah, it won. Crocodile kind of went off.
And wait, let's shout out their Twitches too. So you can catch this battle at CEALPACALYPSETTV, Zeopocalypse TTV, and Bum Trash Garbage. BUMTRAS.
That's not.
Oh yeah, you got the wrong one on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I do?
That's Lil Smurf.
Definitely.
That was last match. Lil Smurf's Bum Trash.
Garbage.
Lil Smurf.
Isn't that is that Smurf?
That's Little Smurf.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bananas and Little Smurf. And so, Bum Trash Garbage is Little Smurf Jolt's opponent. So I gotta go back and see if I can watch it on his end too. But thank you guys for that correction. And shout out everyone who streams. So yeah, shout out Little Smurf. I love the names, Bum Trash Garbage. And shout out Zeopocalypse. I don't think I'm, a spoiler alert in our predictions later, I don't think I'm picking against Alpaca ever. Because I don't think I play him. So that's the only week I would pick against him. He's been the lead battler, #1 team in the power rankings going into it. And he's just improving every week I've seen him. So I'm excited to see what he plays next week, what he can do going forward. And this was an impressive match that matters, even though he lost. And we've said that a couple of times with Koji. We said that a couple of times with Silver. So there's a couple of people, even though they lost, don't sleep on them. Myself as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see all the matches going forward, and this was a fun one to watch.
All right, so next here we got Fox Gopher versus Andrew, where Fox Gopher took a 2-0 win. This was probably more of I guess more one-sided. It was the first match of the week, I believe, and Fox just had a very good game plan going in. He knew that Cole could be an issue, but he had some good calcs with Spectrier using Max Quake on Cole, and kind of waited for Andrew to make the first move and adjusted accordingly. I think that's just what a strong battler does, and make a good game plan, and then wait for the opponent to kind of force you to kind of make a decision, which he did. But yeah, do you guys want to talk about this one, Tom or Tyros?
Yeah, I got the Fox. 5 out of his 6 Pokemon he brought got a KO. And we don't see that a lot. So when we see that, it stands out to me as a diverse team. It can hit you from anywhere. You got the Corviknight with a KO, the Dragonite with a KO, the Main Shot with a KO, Spectrier with 3, Heatran with 2. He got a very good, versatile team. He could hit you from anywhere. And then the Arcanine Wolves, I love the top of his roster. Rillaboom, the Colossal, those are 2 of my favorite Pokemon that I have on my team as well. So I'm rooting for Andrew to make a comeback. And yeah, he got a bad matchup week 1 with Fox. Fox is one of the better battlers in this. You watch all the stuff at Fox Gopher, FOXGOPHER. And yeah, that's shout out to you, Fox. You're awesome.
Thank you, John. You're making me, feel way better about myself.
I really like this match, and Andrew, I would not feel down and out at all. Fox is a great battler. He preps really well every week, and he knows how to utilize his team against you or your team against yourself. Spectre was definitely your win con here, Fox. That thing is it's super fast and super powerful. I don't know what you guys think, but I really like watching it, and you made you did some quick work, which is cool to see sometimes.
Yeah.
Rillaboom did get 2 KOs for the Arcanines, and Slowking got 1, which I think Slowking's a cool mon. I think he can do some fun stuff with it later in the year if he gets it going.
Yeah, I think it's relatively unknown too. Like, not many people know what it can do, so I think it can be very useful in draft league where you prep for all the mons you really know, and something that you don't know comes through, and they don't know how to kind of deal with it sometimes because they don't really know what it does. But yeah, I think it was kind of expected to have Fox win here 2-0, or just win in general, just because of past. He's made the finals the last 2 seasons. And Andrew's, like I said, a new commodity, so no one really knows how he is, how his game game style is. But I think that he kind of held his own for the most part, considering the matchup in general. So I'm interested to see how he does later in later weeks.
Well, I can tell you that I went a couple different directions with this one because I started out was like I knew I had to beat Cole, and my first thought was, all right, well, Life Orb Dragonite with an Earthquake can take it, but there was a lot of other things there, and then I was really worried about the Rillaboom. So it kind of turned into like, well, I'm gonna have Swampert on the team, but I don't need it, but I can drag out Rillaboom. That's kind of what it really ended up kind of coming down to. And then even game 1, I missed the Heat Wave on the Rillaboom and got a little bit dicey. With the Slowking too, having Fire Blast, like he did some good things, and definitely. I don't want to say that it was like really easy. I was scared at some point there. So shout outs to Andrew. He did a good job.
Yeah, you were messaging me all week trying to figure out like a solid plan because again, to back that up, you weren't necessarily going in the week like, oh, this is going to be an easy matchup, but you definitely knew that it was going to be a tough matchup regardless. You just had a very solid game plan after all, a bunch of like prep and work. So again, shout out to Andrew, and I think he will be just fine. All right, so the next game we have Snom and Arceus. This was not a game that was streamed at all, so there's not much we can really say about it.
I actually got some stuff on this. So Snom
Okay.
was actually hitting me up on Discord, doing a little play-by-play during this match. So I got some insight if you want it.
Yeah, no, for sure, we definitely do.
So game one, Arceus, he brought in Wax Kiss, and that was it was a Sash Kiss. He did Follow Me, Belly Drum for Snorlax, and actually played a lot with Stomp throughout the week. And his main lead was Darmanican and Tornadus. And he got Kiss down to Sash, and then Arceus ended up maxing Snorlax and doing some stuff, but it was just no match for Darmanitan. He ended up bringing Gyarados. Snom ended up bringing Gyarados in the back, which had Moxie on it, and Gyarados ended up winning versus Cephalon in game one. Game two, when Snom was texting me, he was predicting that Pincurchin would probably come to the match to try and wall Gyarados. And that's exactly what he did. And because he predicted that, he brought out Weezing and Richie Gigas. And it actually hit a Rock Slide and flinch Snorlax, who was trying to belly jump again. And from there, he just kind of started wrecking house with Weezing and Gigas. And then at the end, he cleaned it up with, I think it was Darmanican again.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So Arceus is saying in the chat that in his game that his team is obviously very reliant on his abilities, so seeing Weezing kind of threw him off, especially like you said, game two where he was reliant on Pincurchin a little bit, especially with the electric surge or electric terrain. Having the Weezing is very solid there, and then saying Darm is super strong, especially when it's banded. And then finally, he just kind of confirmed that both games were very close and ended in a 1v1, just not coming out on top both times. So I think it was. It seems like it was a close match, despite being 2-0. It's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Deceiving. So unfortunately, not being streamed sucks because not everyone can be able to see it, but. Having some insight from you, Tyros, is definitely solid. Alright, so next we have Tank versus Jax. So two newcomers, which was a very, very close match. I was able to watch this over on Tank's channel. Tom, do you want to shout out Tank on his Twitch?
Dude, this match impressed me. I watched it on Tank's stream, TankAction, Tank Action, and it got the little intro with the Pokeball. It was very impressive stream. He was the number 10 ranked team in the power rank coming in. Jax was number 11 ranked team coming in. So I was really excited to see this one. And it did not disappoint. With Tank taking a 2-1 victory, all the games were close, all three of them. The Hatterene put in work with 6 kills. He had Escavalier get 2 kills, Lando get 2 kills. And now I like this match so much, I actually have 2 of the same Pokemon that got most of the kills on his team, and I'm excited to watch this battle back and take some notes. And then on the other side, Jax played very well in the loss. He has Moltres Galarian that got 2 kills. You got the Cinderace that got 4 kills. Does he have Blastoise too? Did I write down Blastoise 1 kill? Because those 3 at the top is a strong
No, he doesn't.
Composition. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so that's a strong team composition. Jax is someone to watch out for going forward, even though he lost. We've been saying it all day. Just because someone lost week 1, it could have just been a bad matchup or something, but
nerves.
These are 2 teams I'm excited to see going forward. And again, Take Action stream was great. You can watch all the future matches there. And this was a fun one to watch as a viewer. Going into 3 is awesome. Yeah, Glacier is 0-2. Colossal is 0-2 so far in our draft league. That's not great for those 2 Pokemon.
But I know that Jax was very upset with the way he played after this one, and so I kind of expect him to really put his nose down and do some grinding to kind of. I don't know if he's trying to change perception or anything. It's not like we can do bad or anything, but I know he's really looking for a win on this next week. He's looking to kind of redeem himself a little bit. So that's going to be definitely, Jax, like you said, Tom's going to be one to watch out for.
Yeah, I think this was definitely one of the. I think during the predictions last week, I think it was just me and Tom at that point. I think you guys ended up getting up the call, but me and him, we couldn't decide which one we wanted, Tank or Jax, Jax or Tank. We couldn't decide. I think I switched my pick like 4 times. I ended up going with Jackson just because I liked his team a little bit better, but Tank got a super strong team with that Trick Room core. I think that one trade he made during the week was super important to his game plan. Having a Scavalier there, which did some work as well. Um, and yeah, I think both these people both these players are very closely matched overall, and I think Tank just had a little bit of an advantage being able to kind of go into Trick Room, playing a little smarter, I think. But again, I don't want to count Jax out because I think he played very well. I think it was a little bit of a tough matchup, um, being Galarian Moltres versus Hatterene for the most part, and their only big threat was Cinderace in my opinion. Um, but it was so close, and I think Jax will be just fine too. I think he's going to do well in future weeks as well.
That as Cavalier pick that Tank got in the middle of last week, I thought was great for his team. I think it really rounded out real well.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. All right, so next we have Jade versus Yama, where Jade won 2-0. Tyros, do you want to start this one off?
Yeah, this was a really cool match. Jade ended up coming out, like you said, 2-0, and the big Pokemon here was Gudra. Gudra was just a menace. Jade kept it in the back, and once it was brought out, it really just kind of took over the gameplay and started wrecking house on Yama's side. You can see there it got 7 kills overall, so it got 7 of the 8 total. So really good prep by Jade. Also bringing the Havan Berry, so that was pretty cool. And then I also really like Yama bringing a physical Kingdra. That was super cool too, and that was good prep I thought for Kudra.
Yeah, I think that prep was very nice, and unfortunately, having that Dragonberry kind of put him in an awkward position because he didn't, other than Kingdra, he didn't have much to deal with the Gudra. It was just a very tough matchup against a very strong opponent, so that was unlucky for Yama to kind of draw that week 1. But I really like what I saw out of Yama. First of all, I love his energy and I love his personality on his stream, which Tom, you can shout out in a second. And just being a very good sport over it all, I think is great to have in the league. And also for performance-wise, I think he obviously didn't get the result he wanted, but being Gudra, having nothing really to break Gudra, having the Dragonberry or Dragon Resist Berry, and that was kind of a difficult time for him. But I actually liked what he brought. I thought that this draft league is going to be a good thing for Yama, seeing that he has a very creative mind, bringing these kind of crazy things. It kind of reminds me of you, Tyros, in a sense, where you guys bring some different stuff that people don't expect, and you win because of that. Because people are prepping more for more standard stuff, and they don't expect a physical Kingdra set, especially if knowing you're going to max it, and people can't. They see a dragon move, and it's like, oh, that's special, but it's doing more damage than normal because it's physical. So that's just good prep, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Yama can do. And we all know what Jade can do from past seasons. Super strong team, and he's obviously going to be fine. And I think Yama will be fine as well, despite the 2-0 loss.
Yeah, so his his Twitch name is YAMAGUU, Yamagoo. Great name. The ABQ Ice Cube, great logo, and he just ran into a brick wall that's called Jade and the Canberra Charmanders and that Gudra. So this was a tough matchup. Again, I said it earlier with Alpaca. I'm going to say it again with Jade. I don't think I'm picking against those guys all season. I think they could lose 2 in a row and I'll still ride with them all season. They've just shown me over the last season, being my first season, seeing them battle, how so far the first week they've held it up. And these guys are going to be forces to be reckoned with going forward. So good luck if they're on your schedule.
yeah, I don't have much to say about this one, but definitely know, hopefully that Yama was able to get his VODs figured out because I wasn't able to watch it live and there was no VOD, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, no, I know Jade is, and I was working with him with the on his team throughout the week, and he was actually pretty worried about this one, but we kind of came to a consensus that Gudra was a good pick, and so it seemed to have worked out. And I know Gudra is flopping, so I personally hate fighting Gudra stuff. But yeah, it's definitely going to be, like you said, top four to be reckoned with, and we look forward to seeing what Yama can do in the future.
For sure. All right, and the last game we have Tyros versus Pops. This one was definitely surprising. I think everyone predicted Tyros to win, and Pops ended up taking this 2-1. I think we saw some very good prep from both teams, and Pops just was able to take advantage of a unfortunate rock slide miss at the end that allowed him to kind of take the win. It's crazy that this game was so close that it came down to a rock slide hit or miss. And like I said, unfortunately, he missed I think it was the Marowak Tyros with the Metagross, but it just there's a lot of risk and a lot of reward. I think it was the only move that could KO the opponent's Marowak at the HP it was at, and yeah, he just ended up missing. So it's unfortunate that he has to kind of take that and swallow swallow some pride there. But I'm not worried about Tyros and his ability to battle and get some wins during this season. Definitely unfortunate to start the year off 0-1, but he is definitely a team to be a little more worried about. And that being said, I'm very excited to see what Pop's going to do because it was definitely a little surprising, I think, for most people to see Pops win. I don't think people were expecting it. He had I think the lowest rated team on the power rankings week 1. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what both these teams have ahead in the future.
And for that, I have to apologize to Pops. Yeah, definitely proved me wrong. It took a little bit of luck, but he made some really good trades, I think, before this match that really improved his team. And so, great game plan by him. You take what you can get, and if your opponent's going to miss a rock slide, you take advantage. So, shout out to Pops, but again, yeah, I'm not worried about Tyros either. Proving himself to be solid battler.
And you can watch us back at Tyros 1325, Tyros 1325, and yeah, this was a fun one. It really came down to that rock slide.
So, yeah, I think Pops did. I think after our last stream together, looking at the teams and kind of talking about the pros and cons, I think it was well said that Pops had a lot of support, but not a lot of heavy hitters. And then he came out and he traded for Celestelia and Garchomp. And my biggest problem was definitely Marowak. My win con for that was Sableye getting the thick club off of it. Unfortunately, he kept it in the back the last 2 matches, and Sableye went down. So, yeah, great prep by Pops. I talked to him a bunch afterwards. He said he ran EVs nonstop or he did calcs nonstop for days. It definitely paid off for him. So I would definitely say watch out for him. He's a really good prepper.
Yeah, I absolutely I love hearing that. When you're putting in the work for the league like this, it's definitely not required to do all this prep and whatnot. But if you want to win, you want to get some good showing, then that definitely helps. And clearly, Pops put in the work during the week, and he got rewarded for it. 2-1 win. That's not to say that Tyros didn't put work in. I know Tyros puts in probably more week than most people in the league. Each week he plays, not just one week. So both players put in a lot of work. Just Pops came out on top. All right, so with that being said, we have the week 1 score, which is the predictions that we all made week 1. Unfortunately, Tyros and Fox kind of had to bow out. Fox had to bow out for basically the whole thing for the predictions we made week 1, and then Tyros was like coming and going. But we do have the predictions for the week 1, the records. I went 6-6. Tom went 4-8. Tyros went 4-3 out of the 7 games he predicted, and clearly, you see, Fox was not able to participate. This will be hopefully a cumulative thing over the course of the whole season, with us four just kind of trying to predict and end with the best record. Just a little fun mini game that we're kind of going to be doing each week when we do this. And then also, if you guys would like to join and do this, um, we can figure out a way to make some sort of form, Google form, with the predictions, and you can make your own predictions for the week, and we can kind of tally them and add them as well if you guys want.
Yeah, it's a fun little game. I really like it. And yeah, Bhanny, the 6 you picked right were yourself, KV versus Auntie, United versus me, Alpaca versus Bananas, Fox versus Andrew, and Jade versus Yama. And then Tyros, the 4 you got right were KD versus Auntie, 17 versus Silver, Bhanny versus Koji, and Jade versus Alpaca. And the 4 I got right were Jolt versus Smurf, Alpaca versus Bananas, Snob versus Arceus, and Jade versus Yama. So we all picked Jade, and we all got that one right.
All right.
And I think that's going to happen a lot.
Yeah, I think there's going to be definitely some players and some matchups that we all agree on. But yeah, so heading to the week 2 matches and predictions, let's try to get these, go through these a little faster than we did the reviews. And yeah, so we'll start off with the first game of Anti and Lil Smurf. These players are 0-1. Anti was only able to get 1 game in recorded, and then Smurf had the 2 games that he lost to Jolt week 1. And yeah, what do you guys think is going to happen here for the matches?
I'm going to go with Anti on this one, just because I feel like his team kind of checks Smurfs a little better. You got the redirect on the table. That's always a problem. You've got Thorn and Lecky. He's going to go bad. I really am interested in this one because I would like to see more from Anti. We didn't really get to see him a lot. But I think it'll be close. I think this one could honestly swing either way, but I'm going to give Anti on this one.
I'm going to go with Smurf, actually. I think Glass actually matches up pretty well against most of the other teams. And if you can get Glass to your inside trick room, maybe some Dusclops proc stuff going on, I think that Smurf can take this one.
Yeah, I got to go with Anti on this one. And I expect him to come out swinging because of the disconnect. He's got something to prove. He's like, you know what? I got a bad taste in my mouth after that last match. Let me come out and prove I could beat anyone in this league. And that's what I see him trying to do against Little Smurf. No offense, Little Smurf. And I hate to predict anyone going 0-2, but someone in this match has to go 0-2. So that sucks for both competitors. So this is a pretty big matchup in terms of standings, because this is only a 9-week season. United said earlier in the chat, 9 weeks, every match matters more. So this is something like starting 0-2 is something no coach wants to do. So if one of these coaches is going to start 0-2, let's see how they bounce back from that.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see,
one thing to note,
my pick is Anti.
Before I put in my pick, in our first season, we had a player go, I think he started 0-4 or 0-5 in an 11-game season. So thinking that you are just out from that is just definitely wrong, because he ended up making the playoffs and putting in a good run. I think it might have been Snom. I'm not 100% sure if that is correct. But yeah. So my pick here is actually going to be Anti as well. I just, like Tom said it perfect. He has this bad taste in his mouth. I know it. I'm just talking to him. He was definitely disappointed to hear that he was going to take the loss. And I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of him take that out on Lil Smurf. And additionally, I think it's cool to note that KD, Anti's last opponent, is good friends with Lil Smurf. So I would just imagine that they're going to help, or he's going to help him prep for Anti, and knowing his playstyle a little more, it might give Smurf a tiny bit of advantage. But I just like the storyline of kind of taking a week 1 loss with a bad taste in your mouth and really just kind of punching back and getting right back on track. I think it'll be close, but I think in my opinion, Anti will take this one. All right,
so 3 out of 4 of us are on Anti.
Yes, and I'm also writing these down. You guys feel free to, but I'm also writing them down.
Okay, I was writing them down too.
Okay. And then for the next match, we have the Carolina State War Turtle versus the Charlotte Vespiquen. Koji versus Caleb. Koji is 0-1 with an 0-2 round record, and Caleb is 1-0 with a 2-0 victory in week 1. Since I went last, I will go first. I think Koji is actually going to take this one. I think the match that Caleb had in week 1 was a little on the easier side versus where Koji, it was definitely it was versus me. So I'm going to be more biased and say that it was a tougher match. And at the risk of sounding cocky, but I think that Koji made some trades. He had 2 trades left before this team, and I actually was helping him out earlier at the end of last week after his match, talking to him about what he could do to improve. And I really loved the 2 picks that he got, Thunderous and Latias, being able to be more versatile with speed control, being able to set tailwind, being able to kind of hit very hard from either side with a Thunderous that's got a higher special attack than just physical attack, and can throw off some massive discharges next to Excadrill. I think would be a very cool tech. It gets Prankster and Defiant, so you never really know which one's going to be coming. And then Latias is another addition where it's just you add Dragon and Psychic coverage, or stab coverage that he did not have before, and he had a lot of ground immunities, and now that he has almost too much ground immunities, like he's not going to be dealing with a lot of ground Pokemon with 4 immunities to it on his team. But Latias is a very heavy special attacker that's very bulky from the special defensive side, that can really kind of just hit hard, and you don't really know what it brings because its coverage pool is massive. And on the other side, Caleb, he's got a very Trick Room heavy team with some big heavy threats on it. But I really think that Koji's going to turn around and I know him from a competitive standpoint, he really wants to win. And I think that he's going to put in a lot of work this week to kind of take it from Caleb.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. I think the strength of schedule is what's doing it for me. Caleb had what I hate to say the easiest match, and then Koji had one of the harder matches. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think I'm going with Koji as well on this one. And yeah, I think you covered it, man. You said a lot on this one, and all of it was right with the ground immunities, the great trades. I couldn't agree more.
Tyros, who do you got on this one?
Yeah, I'm going Koji.
Okay.
I really like the trades that he made this week, and I think he's got a bunch of stuff that can check Caleb's strength on his side.
Yes. And I'm actually going to probably be helping Koji as well, so just like in practice, being able to practice with him. So I think that's going to definitely help Koji a lot. And then Fox actually had to take a call from his wife, and he messaged me saying that he picked Koji as well. So that is 4 for Koji and none for Caleb, which is very odd since they're 1-0 and 0-1. And nothing against Caleb. I just think that, I think it's going to be a very close match. But I do think that Koji's going to come out on top. I think he's going to have a little more fight in him than Caleb will, coming off an easier match. There's a little more wiggle room to kind of lose or, so that's kind of where I'm going with that.
And no matter what, we're going to piss off 50% of the people watching. 50% of the people in the league are going to get mad at our predictions. So sorry about that in advance. But yeah, we're not going to say sorry after every game,
When we pick these teams,
it goes without saying, we're just doing this for fun, and we don't mean to hurt your feelings if that's what happens.
Yeah, when we pick these teams, don't take it to heart. It's just a fun thing. And if you want to take it anyway, take it as if you want to get kind of upset about it, prove us wrong. Win your game. If we predicted you to lose, prove us wrong and make our records bad. When we pick our own teams, our own games, for example, I'm going to obviously be going to be picking myself every week, even if I have the worst matchup in the world, just because I'm going to want to prove to people that don't pick me wrong, you know. But I'll never take it to heart if someone does not pick me. It happens. There's only two people that we can pick, and not all of us will agree on things. So yeah, don't take it to heart. Don't get butthurt or sad or mad. Just have fun and enjoy the game. All right, so next here we have Tom versus Jolt. We got someone on the PowerPoint on this one. All right, so Tom, why don't you go first?
So I'm picking myself. I love the trades.
Are you sure?
This morning. So I picked up Indeedee Female and S Cavalier for Dragonite and Chandelure.
Mm-hmm.
Used my last two trades of the season, and I think I used them wisely. So I think I have this one. It's not going to be easy. Jolt's a great competitor, great battler, great team composition. Togekiss, Tapu Koko, Blastoise at the top of the roster is awesome. The Raichu to support the Tapu Koko. He picked up the Dragonite after I dropped it, so this is something I'm excited to see if he uses it, brings it out right against me. So this is exciting. It really is an exciting match. Draft League so far has been so much fun. I'm 0-2, and at halfway through game one, I thought I was going to sweep United. I was so cocky, and it fell right off a cliff after that. So I'm coming out swinging. This is a must-win for me. I'm not starting 0-2. Jolt, I said it, not starting 0-2. And yeah, Dragonite's mad that you dropped him, Jolt just said in the chat. That's hysterical. So I might see Dragonite this week. That's kind of what I'm expecting now. I'm picking myself, and I saw Fox pick me in the chat too. Shout out Fox. I might not pick you later, so I'm sorry about that. No spoiler alert ahead. But you guys got anything to say on this one?
Tyros, you got anything?
Man, I think that I really like the Indeedee pickup this week by Tom. I think that's really good. I think it's going to be really good this week, too, and really important. So I am going to go with Tom because I like Indeedee more than I like Tapu Koko as far as terrain setters. And I think Tom's got some interesting combinations on his team that can, like, Rillaboom for Blastoise, which was Jolt's kill here last week. So, yeah, I think Tom's got the stronger S and A tiers against this matchup.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I really want to pick Joel here, just because I know he really wants to win as well. He's obviously he's younger, but he's very competitive, and I can see that each week. I think it's such a hard matchup for him. I'm just looking at it just straight in front of me. The Colossal is just a problem. It can literally hit his entire team. Mine is like the Comfy. I think just minus the Comfy, it hits everything super effective and the Thievul, I guess. So that's just definitely a problem. And then he has the Trick Room modes. And the addition of Indeedee and Escav make it even more scary. I really want to pick Joel, but I think I have to go Tom just based off matchup. Joel had asked me to practice with him, which I actually usually practice with Tom, but since Tom is going to be helping United for our match, I might be able to assist Joel and help him prep as well. So that being said, I'm actually going to pick Jolt. I'm going to switch my pick, and if I help him practice, hopefully I can give him some insight and help prep him for Tom's very scary team.
Yeah, right. Jolt's going nuts in the chat right now. You love to see it. We both want to win, so this is what draft league comes down to: two coaches that want to win, and let's see who can. Good luck, Jolt.
Yes, sir. All right. So next we got Silverbroom versus Otter. This is a very difficult match. It's not a very difficult match to pick, but just because based off of the first week, I don't see how anyone could really pick anyone other than Silverbroom here. It was such kind of a disappointing match, unfortunately. And I think until we see something from Otter, at least in my point of view, until I see something more in terms of that drive and the want to win, I'm gonna probably have to pick against them most weeks until I see something. Um, I think that Silverbroom is just a good battle overall, so I'd probably pick him anyways, even if Otter had a good match week one. Um, I think Silverbroom had a very tough matchup week one, and it was very close. And I think it's going to be a very one-sided match, unfortunately. I hope Otter proves me wrong. I really do. I really hope he just comes out swinging and just basically puts week one behind him. But I got to pick Silverbroom here.
I'm going with you too, Bhanny. Just everything you said. I think Otter actually has a decent matchup. But based on the play level that we saw last week, I'm gonna go with Silver.
Yeah, I'm going Silver too. This is a clean sweep for Silver for all of us. All 4 of us are picking him. And
Yeah.
Otter max guarding 4 times in a row.
5.
5. So he max guarded 2 and then protected 3. So that's what made this a lot easier for me to pick this match. Otter, come out swinging, man. And yeah, I might pick you in a future week, but right now I gotta go Silver. And Silver impressed me even though he lost last week.
Yeah, I think Silver's a very solid battler overall, and we just didn't see anything from Otter to kind of justify picking him. Even if his team was better, we didn't see anything. And like I said, we're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings here. We want Otter. We want you to go out. We want you to win. We want you to come out swinging. Like I'm rooting for you here. But in terms of these picks, it's hard to pick for you at this point. Fox is back now. We didn't mention it for the last battle. He picked Tom over Jolt, and for this match, he picked Silverbroom as well.
Yeah, Silver's kind of my guy. I don't know if there's a reason on this yet, but like Silver's my boy, so I got to give it to him. And like you said, we just haven't really seen anything from Otter to really justify picking him, unfortunately. And I think Silver, right, he could have won last week. He's got a strong team, and I think he knows how to use it. So
yeah, I agree. All right, and then next we have me versus United. Both of these, this is the first match we see that both players are 1-0 and have clean swept 2-0.
Yep.
So I'm obviously going to pick myself, so I won't really say much about it. And then I'll let you guys put your 2 cents in.
Big ups, United. I think he's got this, man. No offense, be hating.
None taken, man.
I just want to spoil this now. I'm picking against all 3 of you. Tyros, Fox, and Behaving. I'm picking against all 3 of you. I just realized it in my notes. I'm sorry, but I think United's got this one. And his team is awesome, man. I just played him last week. He clean swept me after I thought game 1 I was going to win easily. He got the Charizard, which he didn't even bring. He got the Talonflame Dracovish combo. He didn't even use really. He let it really, but like he didn't use it to the maximum potential. I feel like he has a Terrakion that could max and set up stand for Dracovish. He could set up stand with a Dow down. He could psychic spam. He's got so much. Just that it's awesome. And the logos are awesome. I think United's going to be a tough matchup for you, and I think he's got this one, man. Good luck. And your team's awesome. But I'm taking United.
No, I don't blame you. I was hoping you'd pick United because you were 4-8 week 1, so it's in my favor. All jokes aside, I think he's got a very strong team, and it's definitely a tough matchup for sure. But I'll put my work in, and hopefully I'll be able to put my best foot forward and give us a good match. We always seem to have a very close match. Last season came down to a Life Orb recoil. I lost to him. This season 1, I ended up beating him twice. Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs, and both of them were super close. So it's always a good match between us. He's a good battler. But yeah, Tyros and Fox, what do you guys got?
I'm going to go with United too, actually. I think this is going to be a speed battle or a score. And as far as like whoever is going first in the rounds is going to really start to pull out ahead. And I think Tailwind could come into a big play here, or the weather to try and nerf like Venusaur or something like that. So I'm going to go with United.
Fox?
I'm also going with United. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know what the best sun counter is? Charizard. And so I feel like your big stuff kind of doesn't really match up well in the Charizard yet. It's just weird matchup wise. I think, Edge United. I'd love to see you break it, but I'm going to go with that.
That's fine. It gives me a chance to kind of bring my lead out a little bit in this these predictions. No, I think it's a
lose. So you guys are both great teams, but one of you got to lose.
Based on paper,
Yeah,
he's got a very strong team, and it's not an easy matchup for sure. He's definitely got a stronger team, I think, in terms of like the matchup. So I'm excited to do some extra prep and hopefully put some work in there. All right, so for our next match, we got KD and number 17. Again, both are 1-0. KD's only got the 1-0 in the rounds, and number 17 has the 2-1. Number 17 took that surprising 2-1 victory over Silverbroom week 1. And yeah, this is a very interesting match against two very good friends who know each other's game styles very well. They help prep each other, so it'll be very interesting. I'm actually going to go with KD here. I think from past experiences, from what I know about these two, I think KD has a little bit of an advantage. I think he's a very solid battler, so I'm hoping for a good match here, but that's kind of where I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm going number 17. He impressed me last week with his victory. He's a good team. He was power ranked the number 4 team. He had an impressive victory over Silver, who's a good competitor. The 7 kills with Cartana. That is impressive. That's what I'm excited to see. I want to see if he can make it work again, because now he's going up against a team with Cephalon. That Cartana does not want to see anything from Cephalon. So if he can get the Cartana rolling again, great. He might not be able to against KD's team, but I still think number 17 is going to figure out a way to win this one.
I'm going with KD. I think he's got some cool matchups, and I think he owns the fast and the slow side with heavy hitters and Mudstone and Spectrier. So I think he's gonna go with the double horse and come out with a victory.
Fox?
This one's tricky, actually, because when I look at the teams and I look at KD, he's got the speed control both ends of the spectrum. But I might actually give the edge to 17 here. I think Galarian Wolfrace is actually straight up fire against this other team. There's a lot of ghost that doesn't want to see a big dark bird. So that's all I got to go for it, and I think that's going to be something to look into. I'm gonna go with Utah. I'm gonna go 17.
Yeah, he's got the horses in the back, but I don't think it's enough.
Okay, let's see. For our next matchup, we have Andrew versus Jax. This is a very interesting one because both these players are 0-2. I think Jax showed he can hang with some of the good players. Andrew had a tough matchup week 1, but he's got a very strong team, and I think he could easily take this as well. But I think just based off of what I saw week 1, I think I'll probably have to go with Jax in this one. He was my week 1 pick, and I'm kind of gonna stick with him. I'm gonna ride him out for the next second straight week. Hopefully he can improve and go 1-1 to start the season. And yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love Andrew's team here. That being said, I think Jax really impressed me with his battle style. The team composition is awesome. Glastrier, Dusclops combo, the Cinderace for the speed. Moltres ain't no joke. Luxray, the great support mom in this format. So it's like, I love Andrew's team, but I gotta go against him, and I gotta pick Jax on this one.
I'm actually gonna go Andrew on this one. I think Hole is gonna be a big problem on the other side of the field, and I also really like Mimikyu. I think maybe you have to watch out for Moltres, but I think you can do some really fun stuff. It gets its sword dance up. So, yes, I'm going to go Andrew.
I say it's you'll hear me say this a lot, especially for the draft league, but it's like whoever controls the speed usually at this point controls the game, and I think that's going to be imperative for this one. You know, last year is a really strong trick room on, and we got strong trick room on from the other side. So whoever kind of manages, I think, the game better is going to take it. So this one for me is a little bit close, but I'm think that he's got just a little bit better
Who'd you pick?
tools, and then Cinderace really just likes to eat the extra breakfast. So.
Okay, so you picked Jax?
Yeah, Jax, right?
Okay. I couldn't hear him when he said his name. I couldn't hear him when he made his pick.
Oh, I choose Jax.
Okay, cool. You cut out for a second.
Yeah, cut out, but the Cinderace was what gave it away for me.
So this is actually the second week in a row, or not second week. This is the Katie and number 17 match also has a Mimikyu on one side and Moltres on the other, which I think is kind of interesting. So we could see potentially two very similar matchups.
Different team comps though.
Yeah, no, definitely different team comps. I just thought it was interesting. All right, so here we have another 2 1-0 teams. One's 2-0, one's 2-1, and that's Canberra and Charmanders versus the Berkeley Bulbasaur versus Jade versus Pops. And yeah, it's hard to bet against Jade. His team's super strong. He's a super strong battler. I really like what I saw from Pops week 1, but I think Jade's gonna take this one. To be honest.
Yeah, I expect this to happen a lot where we all agree Jade's going to win. And it's going to be boring for predicting these battles. And it's no offense to his opponent because Pops very much impressed me with that battle against Tyros. That was I even said when I was watching it, wow, I think I'm picking Pops no matter who he goes up against. And then I saw he was going up against Jade, and I immediately retracted that statement, and I'm going Jade.
I'm actually going to go with Pops. We talked a little bit after our match, and we agreed to start helping each other prep. I know he likes to do lots of prep as well as I do, so I think we're going to help each other this week. And I actually are going to see a couple matchups that I really like. So
yeah, if you're helping him prep, don't give it away.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
For sure. Yes, I know Fox said that he would help me this week, so I appreciate that he wasn't giving away some of the stuff that I was planning on doing. Or yeah, Fox, what do you got here?
For me, you know what? If I have to keep apologizing to Pops week after week, I'm totally okay with that. I'm going with Jade on this one. Just from what I've seen so far, this team is going to be really, really hard to beat. And I'm a little bit of a sucker for Whimsard myself.
You did win it. You did win with that season 1.
Yes, I did.
Very, very lucky in the finals. For those who didn't know, he played me in the finals season 1.
You got your revenge. Don't push it.
I did. Yeah, I did get my revenge. That's right. We'll have battle number 3 in the finals this year. Don't worry.
There we go.
Oh, not if I have anything to say about it. Not if I have anything to say about it.
All right. So next game. Oh, yeah, I got it one. All right. So next game we got Arceus versus Bananas. 2 0-1 teams, 0-2 and 1-1 with the Gold Coast Go-Goats and Atlanta Dunsparce. I was just really impressed with Bananas and how he played, so I got to go with Bananas. Couldn't see Arceus play. I know his match was very close. He's got some very interesting stuff, knowing that he was going for Follow Me, Follow Me, and Belly Drum is definitely super scary. But I think that Bananas has things that checks a lot of the things on Arceus' side. So I'm going to actually go with Bananas here. I actually really like what I saw out of him last week, like I said earlier.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Phenomenal logos on both sides. Phenomenal logos. And this is another one where it sucks that one of these coaches got to start 0-2 for the season. And I'm excited to see whichever one does start 0-2, how they bounce back from it. And I'm going bananas because, again, he impressed me that last week. Not to say RCS didn't.
We just didn't see anything from on Arceus' side.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't streamed.
So I got to go with bananas in this one.
I'm actually going to go with Arceus. I like the team that he's got, and I think that he's got multiple modes that work well. You like what Bananas is packing with PZ, Drakefish, right? Like it's very, very like top end is really, really good. Thunderous is really, really good. But I like what Arceus has going on. I like the support that he has for what is going on, and I think there's some interesting things good like that can make the matchup really favorable for Arceus if he chooses the right. So I'm gonna pick Arceus.
I'm actually going to pick Arceus as well. I actually got to use this team a bunch when I was practicing with Snom. So if you're listening to this, Arceus, go ahead and hit me up. I can give you some strats as far as some combos you can run if you want to. But I think there's some good matchups here on his side of the field.
I will also say I like I know Tom loves the Dunsparce logo. I actually think that the Gold Coast Go-Goats is a very underrated logo. I actually really like that one.
Both of them, man.
There's some really good logos this season.
Oh yeah. All right, so next we have Yama versus Tank, the ABQ Ice Cube versus the LA Lapras. To me, I was really impressed by Tank too. I think watching his stream and watching what his plan was and him executing it, I thought it was super solid. I think he made some really good reads and really good plays. Yeah, I was just very impressed. So I'm going to actually go with Tank here. I think that Yama is going to do some work in the league as well, but I think here in this matchup, just based off of week 1 results, which is hard because Yama had a very tough matchup. I just really impressed by Tank. I think I enjoy watching his gameplay and his game style kind of suits what I enjoy watching.
Yeah, Tank very much impressed me with the professionalism of his stream too. It looked like a real nice setup. So like I didn't watch Yama's match, and that's part of the reason why I think I'm picking Tank here too. Because I saw how he did it. I saw his the plan come into action, and I was very impressed with it. So, and I didn't realize he had a DD female too. So he has a DD female, Hattery, and SCAD. So I got to hit him up about some strategies because now I have those same 3 as well. So yeah, I'm going with Tank.
Tyros, you got it.
All right, I'm going with Yama. Not that I just keep going against you guys for go against you, but I actually really like the range setup. And I know that kind of helps Tank for a couple different things, but I think it also walls a bunch of his heavy hitters as far as like Landorus. And I actually really like Barraskewda. I think that can do some really cool things, and he could always bring sand in the back to change it to get rid of some of the other stuff. So yeah, I'm going with Yama.
Before you make your prediction, Fox, I will say that this is the one, team roster that is technically wrong because Yama made a trade right before we started the stream. He traded Politoed and Blissey for Pelipper and Alchemy, which I was very high on Alchemy before the year, or before the season started. And next to Tyranitar, it's super bulky. Decorate is a very, very scary move. It's basically just a move that gives you weakness policy, gives you +2 special attack and attack, and it can just be very scary. So you got to watch out for that. And I think Politoed for Pelipper, I think that's Politoed and Pelipper do the same thing. They set rain. That's really all they want to do. Pelipper gets an added weakness or added coverage of flying. So lightning moves or electric moves are kind of scary, which Tank doesn't have here. It doesn't look like. It doesn't have any stab electric moves, but it adds tailwind to him, so he gets a little extra speed.
It also adds wide guard for
very true. So I think Yama has a very, very good matchup here, to be honest. But again, I just really enjoyed how Tank played week 1, so I'm sticking with him.
I can pick mine, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think for me, I'm going with Tank. I think that just looking at the teams, I think that as far as just the matchup goes, I think the matchup is very heavily in favor, and that's just my opinion, just from a quick glance at it. And so I'm going to give this one.
Okay, let's
Again,
see.
great logos on both ends.
Yes, newcomer logos are pretty good. They're really good.
All right, so here we have Tyros versus Alpaca. This one's very tough, honestly. Tyros had the disappointing loss week 1. Alpaca won, and again another close match against Pops. I have to go Alpaca here. I just have to. I think he's kind of come into his own since kind of the halfway point of last season, where he just started to impress me, and his team is probably the best on paper, in my opinion, up and down. It's got different modes. It's got trickery mode. It's got the sand. It's got beat up. It's got just insane coverage moves. And I do like Tyros' team. I just, I don't know. I think it's gonna be super close. I have to go Alpaca here though.
I said it earlier. I'm picking against all three of you. I'm sorry, Tyros, but yeah, Alpaca.
I might change my pick here. So just hold on for a second for my pick. But yeah, I'm questioning it right now.
We're going to let Tyros go last on this one?
Yeah, Tyros is gonna pick Alpaca probably, right?
Hey, probably.
I mean, so if I was, so I'm gonna pick me, but if I was just straight up looking at this, I didn't know who was on what side. Alpaca definitely has the stronger team. I think it has a better matchup overall, but I'm gonna pick me because I'm gonna try and get this win.
Fox.
Okay, so I'm actually going to go with Tyros. I'm looking at this for me. This looks a little bit like Bhanny versus Koji 2.0. You've got a lot of the same stuff, and so when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at the big key difference. Is obviously you have the Dragon Bolt on Alpaca's side. But there's some different stuff on Tyros' side. So I'm picking you, Tyros. Don't blow it, man.
All right, I'm gonna go back to my pick. I think I'm probably gonna stay. I think I'm gonna stay with Alpaca here. I think it's gonna be super close. I don't necessarily agree that it's Koji versus Bhanny 2.0 because Alpaca definitely has more versatility in terms of like physical special splits in terms of attacking. But I think that it could go either way. I think it's super close. And again, I think it's whoever controls the speed here wins. I think that's kind of how it comes down to. He's got Tyros has got the lucky to kind of outspeed everything he's got, even the Excadrill in sand. But again, what's the lucky gonna do to the Excadrill? Not probably much. So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be so close. I gotta stick with Alpaca, and that the just because Tyros and Fox also picked Tyros, I'll make it an even 2v2, and I'll stick with my pick in Alpaca.
Hey, we've got a lot of the same picks. I hate breaking to you.
Me and you do.
1, 2, 3.
You wanna
4,
switch
5,
that United
6,
pick to
7,
me,
8.
and we'll have even closer.
We have 8 of the same 12. No, 8 of the same 11 picks so far.
Hey, great minds think alike.
Yeah.
All right, so the last game here we have Fox versus Snom. Again, I think it's the second match that's both 1-0 and 2-0 in matches. I think that's the only two. I could be wrong, but the only other two match of the week where both teams have swept. You got Fox versus Snom, the Vegas Victini versus Texas Tornadoes. Tom, you want to start here?
Yeah, I'm picking Snom. Snom is coming out swinging. I think Snom has something to prove this season after missing the playoffs last season. And I love the Kanto aspect of his team. I think I've said that every time I've seen his team composition. And we all know Fox is one of the best battlers in this game, right? Like in our league, we know he's the season 1 champ and the season 2 runner-up. So he's got the medal. The medals to prove he earned his spot at the top. And that's why I think Snom is prepping extra hard and coming out swinging for this one. And Fox, you better watch out, because I think Snom is going to take this one.
Oh boy.
I'm actually going to go with Snom as well. I think he's going to have a problem with a couple of guys on Fox's team, specifically like Rhyperior. I think gives him a lot of problems. But prepping with Snom over the end of last season, beginning of this season, I know he can pull out a couple crazy quirks. Not to say that Fox definitely can't, because he totally can, but I think I'm going to see if Snom can pull something crazy out.
Tyros is on my list now too.
All right, at the risk of being put on Fox's list, which you guys are all on my list right now. You guys picked all against me. Even though he picked against me, I have to stick with my boy Fox. I think he's just knowing he's too good of a battler to lose this one. Regardless of both of them being 2-0, I wasn't able to see Snom's match. I do think Snom is going to come out and impress in this match. It's going to be a lot closer than we think. And yeah, I think from looking at the matchup, just on paper, I like a lot of things that are on Snom's team. Just he has so many flying type Pokemon that it can be. I think it can cause a lot of problems for him. And then on Fox's side, he has a lot of random things. I think like a lot of things that aren't very you don't really see very often in terms of like pairings. But he showed week 1 that it doesn't matter what's on his team. He's gonna if you don't prep right, if you don't put in the work, he's gonna crush you. I'm not saying that Andrew didn't, but I think that he's a very, very good battler. So I'm gonna go with Fox here. Again, keeping it 2-2, and yeah, so that's kind of it. Any last things, Fox? Do you want to say about this before we move on to the surprise we got?
It's certainly nice of you to pick me after I picked against you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not holding grudges here.
But no, obviously I gotta pick myself. I've battled Snom for 2 seasons now, and Trackers is not looking great for Snom, so that's all I got.
All right, so
I think that's enough said. Yeah, and I want to add. So we got the schedule for 6 out of 12 of the matches so far. You want me to read that off real quick?
yeah, sure.
So we got Friday, United versus Bhanny at 3 p.m. to kick us off. That's the first match in the schedule tab so far. Then we got myself versus Jolt at 4:30, and Jax versus Andrew at 6 p.m. So that's an awesome day of battling after work on Friday. And then Saturday, we actually have 2 battles at 2 p.m. Nanners versus Arceus and Pops versus Jade. So I'm not sure if either of those are going to be streaming, but I'm excited to see them if they are. If they're not, I'm excited to see who wins. And at 10 p.m., we got Yama versus Tank on Saturday night. And those are the 6 battles that are in the now schedule tab. And yeah, I'm excited for all of those. And also, shout out Easter Sunday. So when scheduled, remember, Easter's on Sunday. I didn't realize until this morning. So that's something that,
Yeah, keep that in mind when you're scheduling with your opponent.
Really easy. Yeah, a holiday weekend. So maybe we'll see more. Maybe we'll see a weekday battle. You haven't seen Thursday. You kick us off last week.
Yeah, we kicked it off last Thursday.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is very very solid. I love that we are able to see the schedule in its own channel. It kind of stinks that so we have the triple out on Friday, but I don't think Jax or Andrew stream, which is kind of disappointing. It's not a huge deal they're not stream, but I know that everyone loves to watch these matches. And if you're able to stream, even if it's not the best quality or you don't have a cool setup, just being able to watch the match is very it's just fun. We all love watching it. We like seeing different things that happen. So if you have the ability to stream, you're not going to hold it against you, but we definitely encourage it. We don't care if we're watching a freaking switch in your hand. It's just something. But
you should have seen Tom's streams from the start of last season.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was going to mention that.
There was some low budget streams, but yeah, it was always great to watch.
Yeah.
I have a little iPad stand, and I would go live on Periscope and just film it. And you'd see like my whole desk. It was a pretty funny setup until I got the $13 capture card. But yeah, no, if anyone needs a link to the capture card at Walmart or Amazon, it's like $13 to $16. If not, I definitely recommend Periscope because Periscope was a lot of fun. It was really low quality, but it was a lot of fun to do.
And I don't think
And I do like that I got the Twitch setup now.
I don't think Jade or Pop stream either, but I might be able to get some insight on that game when they play. So I might have something for next week in terms of like um, some input. And if you guys don't stream and you guys want us to talk more about your games, which we won't be able to see, you can DM one of us and like Tom. I know Tom will take great notes, so you can DM Tom or me or whoever and give everyone a full rundown of what happened in your game. I'm sure that if you want it to be talked on the stream, we'll do that.
Oh,
Okay.
Pops is planning on streaming it. Let's go, Pops.
Is he?
All right, wait. You just said that in the chat.
Oh, let's
I'm
go.
not sure if I follow everyone so far. If I do, great. If I don't follow you yet, I probably will when you stream it and now streaming.
Pops,
Yeah,
feel
just
free
follow
to feel free to plug your Twitch in the Discord, or you can even do it in my chat right now. I don't really, it doesn't bother me. So
Pops VGC, POPS VGC. It looks like, because that's what I just clicked on his name to follow.
okay,
And
there
Tank
you
said,
go.
"Hell yeah, guys, love these recaps. Thank you, Tank. Thank you for being good, and I'm excited to see you next stream too, man." And Armaldo said something. I love reading this chat. Alpaca sent his picks in the general chat too. So I'm
Nice.
excited we got multiple people picking games too, because I wrote down some of the people sending picks in the chat. If I missed
cool.
one or two, my bad, but.
Yeah, if you guys want to send in your own picks, feel free, and I'll try to do my best to keep track, and I'll put them on the stream when we do these recaps. All right, and then we're gonna end it with a little surprise that Fox kind of put together. As you all know, Fox has kind of been leading the power rankings, so he put them out just before the stream, which if you noticed, it's right on the Google sheet, but I will post it. I will show you guys here right now. And here we go. Here is the week 2 power rankings, which you see the movement, top and bottom. You see the results, and the next week matchup. And then kicking off the top, we have the same 3, but in a different order. We have myself, the New England Pidgeots, the Canberran Charmanders, and the St. John Seals 1, 2, 3. We have the LA Lapras jumping up 6.6 spots to take the number 4 spots. Detroit Dragapult stay the same. Koji and the Carolina War Turtles did not drop very far, regardless of not even picking up a kill. They only dropped 2 spots, and I think that's just a testament to how well we think that he's going to do in this season and how good his team is. We saw Anti move up 2 spots, regardless of taking a loss, which is very rare, but it's I think there's nothing wrong with that. We have Vegas Victini, Fox Gopher, the guy who made this. He moved up 9 spots. I think that's great. He showed why
He's always going to be underrated in these.
Yeah, he's definitely.
That doesn't know.
I think he should be
Very
higher,
humble.
and I think everyone here can agree he should be higher. But at the risk of people getting upset that he's ranking himself too high, I think he rates himself a little too low.
That's quite fair. Yeah.
United's team is very surprising here, being only 9. He moved up 11 spots, so he was very low. I think this is all my opinion, so take it or leave it. I think he could be a little higher. His team's pretty gross.
Yep.
Next, we have the Texas Tornadoes rounding out the top 10, jumping 8 spots. Tyros and the Buffalo Scizor dropping 3. So far, it's the biggest drop. At number 11, Pops jumped 12 spots, which is the biggest jump all of week 1. He jumped 12 spots from the very bottom, about to number 12. Jinx, Joltade moving up 10 spots. The next biggest jump, actually no, the third biggest jump, because United jumped 11. He moved up to the top 13. Number 17, impressing, moving up 5 spots to number 14. Jax and Diablo's Demons only dropping 4 spots despite the loss to Tank. I think that's probably because Tank moved up so far, being a top 4 team, that he only dropped 4 spots. Yama dropping 10 spots, unfortunately losing to Jade week 1. Atlanta Dunsparce, Bananas dropping 3 spots to number 17. Caleb and the Charlotte Vespa Queen dropping to number 18. Actually, no, he moved up 4 spots to 18 with the win. A New York Rilla with Silver Broom. They jumped up 2 spots despite losing, which I think is very fair. I think his team is very low rated, but and it is not, you can't really move up super high with a loss. So I think that's very solid there. Arceus and the Gold Coast Go-Goats dropping 7 spots with the loss to Snom, rounding out the top 20. And the final 4 on the low end would be Windows, P2, and Little Smurf dropping 9 spots. Tom and the Amoongus Bus dropping 7 spots to number 22. I know he's probably not happy with that, but I think that he will show.
No, I just want to mention. If Otter wasn't here, I'd say I'd be 24 because I had a collapse. I thought I was going to win and then lost miserably. So I wouldn't be upset if I was 24 after this.
Yeah, I think your team is very solid. I think that I think number 22 is very reasonable. I think you'll move up in the coming weeks after a couple matches and get some wins at your belt. And then we have the RK9 Wolves with Andrew's team dropping 7 spots to number 23. He had a tough matchup against Fox week 1, where he got some kills with Rilla, and that's kind of about it. And then to round out the entire power rankings, we had the Orlando Oshwats and the Oddball Otter, or from Oddball Otter's team. It was just, that was a disappointing match where there wasn't much going on Oddball's side, so there wasn't anywhere else he could really go, despite having a very strong team. So he dropped 17 spots. So the furthest drop, and there's only one place you can go from there, and that's up. So hopefully we see some strong stuff out of him week 2, and he can move up a little bit. But yeah, do you guys have anything that you see that kind of stands out to you on this list?
No, I think this list is awesome, man. I'm so excited for this next upcoming week.
Yeah, I think only Joe would be upset about moving up 10 spots.
I guess.
I think there's a lot of movement this week, but I think one of the reasons there's also a lot of movement, not only because of the battles, but because of the tens and tens of trades that have gone on. The trades have been crazy over the last week and a half or so, or 2 weeks.
Do we want to read them after we're done going over this?
No way.
All today.
Oh, for the ones today. That's fine. But if you're trying to do all of them, Tom, that was one.
We went over them during the we went over all the trades during the predictions.
Yeah, it started off at 6:19 a.m., which really made me laugh.
The biggest thing for me on this power rankings, and I've started to kind of talk to him a lot more and develop sort of a friendship with him. Koji, I was very shocked to see him number 6 still. I think he played as well as he could have, and it was a very tough matchup. I kind of expected him to drop a little lower because he didn't pick up a kill. I am expecting better things out of him in the coming weeks, but I was a little shocked that he's still as high as he is. But despite that, I think he's going to do very well. But yeah, anything else? And shout out to Fox for making this. It's got to be super difficult. I can't imagine rating 24 teams each week. So shout out to Fox there. I think he did a great job.
He said he's trying to join back in right now. He got something happened. But shout out Fox. He does a great job with this.
Yeah.
The KO leader, the added column is awesome. I really like that.
Yeah, I think
going in the chat.
There's.
Oh, yeah, go.
No, I just think it's super well put together, and all the different details in here. The record, the KOs, the KO leaders, the movement is awesome. And then the previous weeks and week coming up, like the matchups, I think it's super solid. I think it's super professional. He did a great job. Again, it's got to be super hard to rank these teams. If you had to sit down and rank all 24 teams, it's probably would be a little bit harder than you think. I think in the future we might go down from 24 to number 1, but that's obviously to be determined.
That'd be fun if you reveal in 24-1.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Today was more of a spur of the moment where he had sent the power rankings to me, and I just kind of made a slide with them. But we might, depending on if he's able to do them quicker, which no pressure on him, I know it's a lot of work, um, then we might do a little reveal that way to go from 24 to 1. That could be interesting.
Well, I'll tell you the turnaround. The turnaround is rough because everything's done Sunday night, and then we're trying to get the stream out on Monday. Like,
Yeah, no,
it's like turnaround. I do what I can.
All right, so other than that, good luck in week 2. I will say again, it is Easter Sunday this weekend, so keep that in mind when you're scheduling your games. People definitely have plans. Most people will have plans. So if you know that you don't have plans, ask your opponent what they have going on. Ask them when's the best time for them to play, and try to be very good with your schedule. I know some people are very strict, have a very strict schedule. They have work, they have other things going on, but try to work with each other as much as you can. For example, United texted me today, or DM'd me today about our match, and it's a great example, which I hope he doesn't mind, but I will share what he had messaged me. And this is a perfect example. It's a great way to kind of reach out to your opponent and say this. So, and I'm quoting him when I'm saying this. And again, I hope he doesn't mind, but it's a good example. He says, "Yeah, we play each other week 2 this week. What time would be good for you? Later in the week would be preferable to me. They gave me work all day off Friday, so I can play anytime Friday or Thursday afternoon. I can also do the weekend, but if we get it done before that, that would be awesome because it's Easter. But if not, I can still make it work." Like that's a very easy here's my week out. Tell me what's good for you. These are the good days that work well for me. Like that's literally like an ideal message, and I think that people can easily use that. Um, like shout out to United. I think he did a great job just reaching out to me. He's been obviously great the whole time. We've had no problems with him.
And I want to note one more thing, hopping on that. So, like, I know I'm going away later in this year, so, like, I already reached out to my opponent saying, hey, I'm going to text you the week earlier. Do you mind if we battle earlier the next week? So, like, if you know you're busy, like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you need to battle, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, reach out to your opponent the week before so they have time to prep, too. So that's just something to think about, too, if you know you're going to be busy the next week or the next weekend and you're looking ahead of the schedule.
Yeah, so just definitely make sure that you guys have time to battle. We've had issues in the past with scheduling, and this is why we created the schedule tab, so you can have some incentive to see everyone scheduling their match, and everyone can kind of look forward to something. So use that tab, use that to place your match, make a time, make a date, so people can look forward to your match. And we know that life kind of gets in the way sometimes. Some things come up every now and then, and that's okay. You can easily reschedule, I'm sure, but it's harder. I will say it's harder to reschedule a match if it's a later date at the end of the week. If it's Saturday or Sunday, something could easily come up, and you don't have a full week to reschedule. So if you do have a busy week, try to schedule it maybe even a little earlier. You might have less time to prep, but even like a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday would probably be a good time to battle. I know Caleb does all his matches. Usually he tries to do them on Sunday, just as like a end of the weekend type thing. He gives him the full week to prep. But if something were to come up, he would have very little time to reschedule, and it's kind of like this is my only shot to stream and to do this. So that's the only downfall of streaming or just scheduling once on a Sunday. So try to work with each other. Like I said, things come up, and we get that. If you guys need any extra time where something does come up, we can work with you and try to get you guys to schedule it even after the week's over, like on a Monday or Tuesday. But we're trying to make sure everyone gets their matches in without any issues or problems. And yeah, everyone's been very good this season so far. Hopefully we can keep things going with very little issues. And yeah, do you guys have anything else to say before we head off?
No, this has been so much fun to watch along all the matches if possible. Like, I wasn't doing a lot this weekend, so being able to see all the matches that I was able to see was fun. Having everyone so engaged is fun. Having everyone be so cool so far and so kind, I really appreciate that. The community you built, Bhanny, is awesome. So I thank you for that, and thank you everyone for being so cool so far. I appreciate it. And I saw Late Night Among Us in the chat. I might be down unless the Knicks game is close, so keep me updated with that. But yeah, this is awesome so far. So thank everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. I really enjoy seeing, even if it's not Pokemon, I really enjoy seeing the community we've kind of built get together and just talk to each other all the time, all the practicing, all the collaboration that's going on. I love it. I think that's awesome. I think that's the whole part of this whole thing is to have fun. Pokemon is just the competitive aspect of playing and when you're trying to win a league and win your match. But I love that you guys are kind of being able to play with among us or do other things and talk to each other. I think that's a great thing. I know that Tyros and Tom they created kind of a friendship from last season. I think it's just awesome. It's super important.
Yeah, everyone that I met last season, I consider I've made a friendship with, and I know I'm going to LA soon too, so I know I talked about getting money. So if anyone's in the LA area, I'm going to be in Venice for a while. So let's try. If we want to meet up out there, awesome. If not, awesome. But yeah, this community is awesome so far. So I appreciate everyone.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's been really good, at least on my end, because we went from 12 to 24. I think that's amazing. I think it's great. There's more people, practicing, battling, talking to each other. I love it. I think.
Yeah, I think that's very
Yeah,
very
you
good.
see it. Everyone's been more engaged. I feel like, or there's just been more people engaged because the total people increased. So it's awesome to see.
Yeah, so this is our third season. If you guys are new, obviously we have it kind of uh, branded as season three. Um, the first two seasons, there've been you kind of expect some hiccups as you create a league. You know, there's going to be hiccups every now and then. Each season, we've kind of had less and less issues. Um, we still have issues every once in a while. We kind of expect them, but this season so far has been very good, very minimal issues, and we're very fortunate for that. Me and Fox knew we were moving up to 24 players, and we kind of expect a little bumpy transition into that from 12 to 24. But so far, it's been very easy to transition. Um, we've had one match that kind of had to come to a tough decision, but there really wasn't any scheduling issues, stuff like that. There hasn't been anyone threatening to leave or that or whatnot. We want everyone to have fun, and even if you lose, um, yeah, just try to have fun. Everyone wants to win, no one wants to lose, but just try to have a good time, create some friendships, um, and yeah, I think it's been going very well and a lot better than I expected, considering we moved up to 24 players.
Yeah, after this week, only 7 weeks left. 2 months left in the season.
Yes,
Regular
sir.
season.
Yes, sir. Tyros, you got anything?
No, thanks for having us again, Bhanny. This has been really good, and
Yeah.
I just to echo everything that you guys said about the community here. It's been fantastic. Really enjoyed. Can't wait for week two.
Yeah, you guys, everyone, good luck in their matches. I think we have some very good ones, and I'm excited to see. I think in the next couple of weeks we'll start to see um, who's going to be the real players and who's kind of just still going to try to keep learning each week. I think it'll be very interesting to see. Um, there are a couple teams that have no more trades left, so that's very interesting. Also, the East side
I'm
in
one of
particular
them.
is just going crazy with trades. The West side's more calm on it. Maybe that's because they're 3 hours behind. I don't know. We're still waiting for them. But yeah, it's fun. It's very fun and very crazy. But yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy it, we can continue to do this. If you didn't, and it's not something that you really look forward to, then we don't have to do the streams. We do it because it's more like a thank you to you guys um, for joining the league, and we definitely enjoy it as well. Um, but it's more
Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing it.
for me, it's more of a thank you to everyone that's joined. I think it gives everyone a little extra thing to look forward to, especially in the beginning of the week when matches aren't going on. Um, but yeah, thanks again for coming and joining the stream and checking it out. And hope catch you guys
Before
next
we end
time.
this, too, I just want to shout out the video I got coming out with Tyros, Alpaca, and Koji. We do something very similar. We go over week one. We don't predict week two. We just raw reactions right after the last battle Sunday. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not as planned out. It's just hey, let's go open table. And this is, a lot of fun creating content. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not exactly sure the ETA, but I appreciate everyone. Thank you, Bhanny. I just wanted to get that last word
No,
in.
you're good. I
Shout out
think
Koji, Alpaca. Shout out everyone. Bhanny, Fox, Tyros, thank you guys all for having me again.
So I do know that again to build up that I think you do that video with Tyros, right? Or no? Is it just you?
When?
The one where you had Koji and Alpaca on.
No, that was me, Tyros, Koji, Alpaca. It was the four of us.
Okay, so
and
yeah,
Tyros does a kick-ass job too.
So Tyros and Tom collab a lot on these videos. Each week they'll probably bring in two different players. Hopefully they'll get some more variety.
Yeah.
So at some point, we would like to
I want to try to get everyone on.
Yeah, we would like to have everyone on.
When I started the stream with Tyros, and I told him that too. Like, that's his goal. I feel like too. It's like, hey, let's try to get everyone involved, build the community better. Let's get everyone to know each other.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wanted to hear the opinions, because hearing everyone's opinions on everyone else's team has been awesome, and it's been making me, I feel like, better at Pokemon too.
Yeah,
So
it definitely does. Definitely does. And yeah, so I think that's a very cool thing that you guys do. So keep that in mind when you guys do your week. You could be asked to be a part of that with them. You obviously you don't have to if you don't want to. I know not everyone here wants to do that and wants to like talk or whatever. But there's really no shame in anything.
We'll probably reach out throughout the season.
Yeah, there's no shame in anything. We're all here. We're all trying to bring positive vibes. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you guys next time.